Well, hello there. This is Shane from Shane's Reviews, and I hope you are having a great day today. Today, we're going to be talking about something I've been waiting to come out, and that is Skyworld, which is Undying Mercenaries Book 18. Yes, 18. And this, of course, was wrote by B.V. Larson, and then also it was narrated by Mark Boyette. Anyway, long of the short is I know in the video that I recorded yesterday, I was talking about how I was looking forward to this and how this book was stacking up to be better than a particular other book. And that statement is absolutely still true. So, of course, as always, quick word about the production. Good. Nothing in there to really take you out of the story mode at all. The voices that are done, glasses check. The voices that were done by Mark were, of course, on point with everything that should be done. And he did an excellent job of conveying the feeling and emotion inside of the book. So no complaints there. And in fact, Mark, you get the clap award. So, see, I'm learning about this microphone being here and not smacking it every time I move my hands. Haha. Anyway, so the long of the short is, these books they've been in publication for a while at this point. I think that I found them like 4 or 5 years ago, and every time that one of them comes out, I am absolutely, I'm excited, but kind of like holding the reins, because so many books, so many series, whenever they get to this point, it's just like, have you lost focus? But fortunately, that's not it with this. So as the book starts out, we have James McGill, our infamous, he loves to fill himself out whenever he's not working, whenever they're not out on deployment, just sitting in his swamp, much like an ogre, telling you to get out of his swamp. But he's actually a pretty interesting character. The one shortcoming he has is he is a womanizer, like big time. But not excusing behavior, because, to each their own. So with the way the books are set up, the women that are being involved with him, 95% of the time know who he is, and that he is certainly a tool in that regard. But that being said, he's also very much a leader. He's very much get things done. He's the person that does things in the background when nobody's looking, kind of. But anyway, I digress. It's interesting the way that this character has been set up, because, of course, with the name Undying Mercenaries, whenever one of the soldiers is killed, they get recycled, which means that they're basically reborn and all their memories are put back into them. There's this technology called tappers, which is a full forearm type of a device that records all their brain activity, data, etc., and sends it back to the main computer. So whenever they do die, they can be re-imprinted into their own body. Interesting premises. But that's the thing that's made these books work so well, is you can kill your characters when they need to die, and then they come back when they need to come back, which is great, because you can take your character and set them on a shelf until they're needed again. It's an interesting device that he uses, and I enjoy it quite a bit. As far as like new technology type things that were in this book, yes, there was a couple, and don't want to give too much of that away, but we do see the dragon suits, the armor that people wear that has a big long tail on it. So that's pretty cool. And in fact, Galena goes on a power trip in one of them, and it's absolutely hilarious how James diffuses that. But anyway, I digress yet again. So we open up, he's in a swamp, and while he's in his swamp, he likes to be left alone. So he's come up with these clever ways to disable his tapper while he is there, and he usually misses out on a lot of news. But this time, things don't kick off the way they usually do. It wasn't that he gets a message from a tapper saying, hey, time to report, let's go to this planet and do XYZ. Instead, it starts out with his daughter causing a ruckus because she ends up finding this kind of a thing that's a hill, but not a hill. It's just basically a very long, raised section of ground. And she's kind of feral, so she digs a little bit by hand, and then once she realizes she's onto something, she goes and gets a shovel and digs down and all this kind of a thing, and comes to her dad, old James McGill, and says, "Hey, there's a problem. We found something. I found something. I want to know what it is. Let's go get it. Let's go get inside of it right now." But the problem for James is that there's a lot of bodies, literally, that he has buried on his parents' properties whenever it comes to diplomatic disputes, we'll say. And so, yeah, there's that portion, and he thinks that she has found a cache of bodies. But no, she surprises him by going a different direction. So this is what starts everything popping off. Now, you would think that it wouldn't be such a big deal if you found a bunker in your backyard. But there was a war that has always been kind of mentioned, a little bit explained, but it doesn't take a whole lot or a big intuitive leap to figure out what was going on. There was pretty much what I'm gathering, or what I think of as a global civil war, whenever they call them hogs, hegemony, I think is the name of that. But anyway, so there's this huge contrition against these people taking power, and the people that were fighting them apparently made all kinds of bunkers all across the planet that has all kinds of things that would restart this insurrection. And so as soon as the spyware that is on James' stuff, because he's such a problem maker for the up and ups, his grand leader gets a hold of him and is like, "Hey, we really should meet up about this thing that you found. What do you know about this?" Etc. And things really start to go haywire and south after that. So he has this little meeting, and then they're going to test this new technology, but instead of a successful test, it gets blown out of the sky, literally, and causes a lot of death because of a huge tsunami and earthquakes, etc. And then there's a thing that happens that was alluded to a couple of times, but essentially the world becomes a huge dictatorship that is being ran by one individual. And there's a lot of the old time war propaganda type scare tactic things that start to happen, such as this little box that you say an oath to and put a finger on, and then it determines if you're actually trustworthy or not. And on top of that, officers are being shot left and right for saying anything that could possibly contradict their leadership or the next person in the ladder of authority. And so that's kind of harsh to see them go from not necessarily a peaceful existence, because let's be honest, ever since they have took over that province of 941, they have had nothing but war and fighting and blowing up of this, that, or the other, or Rick and Morty type portals that bring in creatures from other places that are hell-bent on destroying the earth, etc. So, I mean, that's a thing, and it's a big moving point in the book, and yeah. So, with that being said, there's also a lot of reference material. Now, I don't mean that it's being reset in the exact same words. No, things are being revisited, like the centipede world, or the centipede culture, Volbites, I think they're called. There was a queen that I think it was Graves and McGill shot the eye off of, and it's visited. And then on top of that, there's other things that happen. There might even be a silver fox, but we're not going to go too much into that just yet, or at all. So essentially, it's fun. It's a good read. It hits those aspects of a little bit of drama, a little bit of suspense, a lot of space, or contemplation about things that are happening. There is a little bit of Inkfish. If you haven't read the rest of the books, I think that some of it might be lost. But all this to say, is it worth your time, efforts, and energies? I believe it is, most certainly. If you've read any of the other books in this series, certainly pick this one up, because it is not filler. It is not just getting to the next story. There's good stuff happening in this one. So I absolutely love it. And let's give another clap award, shall we? Yay, confetti. I'm not sure what that sound effect was. It was supposed to be a horn. It was horribly done. My apologies. But do with it what you will. So, with that being said, let's give that award to B.V. Larson, because yet again, he's outshined. He's done a good job with the book. He's done a good job with the characters. He's done a good job with developing the characters throughout the story. And point in fact, like McGill, what I was talking about, the womanizing at the beginning, that's true. I don't even know how many women that the man slept with, and I don't care. He's got a high body count, and it doesn't mean that it's impressive or that it's awesome either, but he certainly has. But he's finally getting to the point in life, I think, where he's wanting to have something. And there's a scene that'll pay off for you if you read this one, whenever it comes to Galena and him on and off again. So that was fun. So check marks all the way across the board. I enjoyed this read a lot, and I hope that you enjoy it just as much as I did. If you even get a quarter of the enjoyment that I did out of it, it'll be worth your time. So thank you so very much for watching. I'm not sure which one of these videos are coming in, but if you pick that one up there, I will see you in the next video. Oh, before you go, if you made it this far, would you do me a favor and subscribe and hit the little bell so you know whenever we put our videos out? That would be awesome, because you could always unsubscribe if you decide I'm stupid later. That'll work. Anyway, thank you for being my hero, making it this far. Happy holidays to you. Keep on trucking. We're almost through them all. Love your faces. Have a good week. Bye.